You know, it's a saying I hear more often nowadays that some people are just born into this world as hating ass MFs. I'm one of those. In fact, I think all of us are like that with something. We all have an unjustified hatred towards something we just will not give a shot. I've definitely got a few. I think the example I could use to bait out the most amount of angry comments is saying I hate Team Fortress 2, and I just refuse to try it again over a decade after I decided I don't like it. Hi again, guys, and another thing that exists is Disney adults. There's nothing that makes me happier in this mortal coil than being mad at people harmlessly enjoying their interests. I'm very toxic. Don't be friends with me. It sucks. This is obviously an exaggeration. By some standards, when I turn 30, if I still shill for Marvel as hard as I do now, I will be on the same level as these guys. I personally view them as like a specific subspecies of millennials. They found their one interest and have committed, and it seems like Disney has seen the way the wind's blowing with these people and wants them to stay locked into that ecosystem, so they're catering to them. We'll get into all that, so if you enjoy this video, there will be this big card at the end that you can click or tap to take you to another one like it. It's so sensual when you do that thing I just said to do. Also, I just dropped my new song, The Backrooms, earlier this week, and I'm really happy with how it came out.
It's red on my chest like a Zangoose. Everyone wanna fuck a mom like Chris Chan do. Most of what I do, I don't really think or plan through. I got trash taste like YouTubers in Japan do.
If you want, you can stream it on all music streaming services at the first link in the description. It would mean a lot. Now, Disney adults are by no means a new topic to cover, but the thing that brought out this new vigor for me recently was the announcement that Disney is making a fucking residential neighborhood.
Now, Disney storytelling and world-famous Disney service inspire something new.
I'll take you there.
Charming home communities where the story is all about you. Storyliving by Disney.
I'll take you.
So this is meant to simulate a Disney princess self-insert fanfic, because if that's the case, I can definitely see the appeal. The impulse to hope this will go well based off the premise is high, but I don't know how you can see this commercial from a company like Disney and not instinctively think it was the newest single-syllable Jordan Peele-produced movie. If he took this concept and ran, he would eat that shit up. Twitter was predictably having a field day with this. The imagery of Mickey Mouse as your landlord who rolls up to your front door if you're late on rent is a bit too tempting to not shitpost about. Disney security putting me on death row for trying to have sex with my wife in my own house. It doesn't reflect Disney's magical family-friendly image. And the video attached was SpongeBob getting dragged off to the slaughter. Not gonna play it here because of I want to make money from this video reasons, but it's still a pretty accurate representation of what was happening in the majority of people's heads when they first heard the news. Breaking. Disney confirms hidden Mickeys at Storyliving by Disney can be found sleeping with your wife. That's one thing I've always really respected about Disney. They absolutely never skimp out on making their attractions as immersive as possible. And it wouldn't feel like an authentic American suburb if your whore wife didn't cheat on you with your infinitely more handsome and successful neighbor. And who's more successful than the most recognizable fictional character on Earth? Isolating weird Disney adults from the rest of society is the best idea they've ever had. This is easily the nuclear take, wanting them to go forward with the development of the neighborhood so it can be used as a quarantine zone for the quote, undesirables. In this case, being Disney adults. We haven't even looked at the plans for what this place is supposed to look like themselves. The real place doesn't exist yet, but they have some concept images that will give us an idea of what it might look like. So let's look at them then? Maybe what they have to offer is better than what we're fearing. The first of these story living communities, because apparently there will be multiple until it makes up 90% of the American housing market, is to be built in Rancho Mirage in California's Coachella Valley. The concept of that is just like really funny to me. Like some living in paradise-esque couple will be raising their American nuclear family while some kids across the street are dropping tabs at a Playboy Cardi set. Disney proceeds to buy Coachella and play exclusively Disney musical sets. Alright, so this first image is of some folks at a beach lined with attractions. You've got paddle boards, some places to sit in the shade, sand castles. Nothing too crazy in this one. This one is literally just Iron Man's house, except it's not a house, and significantly less cool because of it. This concept art is the one where shit really starts to become concerning for me, because the glass leaves on these artificial trees are all variations of the circles that make up Mickey's head, and they are directly above you, looking down. That is fucking terrifying. If you look up, you'll see that Disney has put cameras designed to look like real eyes in every single one of them, just to ensure that you know you're being watched at all times. So you better be watching Disney Plus if you want to keep story living instead of story dying. I don't know what it is about this one, but this picture really just reminds me of those artificial islands mimicking a world map that Dubai was making to sell for a lot of money and build houses on, and are now slowly sinking underwater. It's obviously different because this isn't an island, but it haunts me in the same way. Now, admittedly, I have been getting very far ahead of myself in this video. Story living is supposed to be a big terrarium for a specific type of person, and what is a zoo without its animals? I have completely neglected to get a closer look at our potential specimens up till now, so I will be correcting that. Is it weird I'm talking about sapient people like they are meat? Yes, very. You can get this massive snack in Disney World for $3. Disney bloggers, discovering the existence of bread is a lot funnier than it has any right to be. This is the way I've come to understand how the mind of a Disney adult functions. They see the world the same way we do, but it's passed through a Disney Snapchat lens. It doesn't matter that sliced bread has already been invented, because to them, the best invention since sliced bread is sliced bread you can buy in Disney World. Powered by bitch dust. What, you mean cocaine? That's what I got this thing for. I cut the line in front of other children so I can over-enthusiastically hug a costumed character. And that's captioning a picture of what I imagine are some of the most painful shoes you can wear. Look at Mickey being forced to hold up the weight of an entire person. You can see the despair in his eyes. Now, like I said, I don't mind people just doing what makes them happy. If going to Disney World as an adult and experiencing the attractions over and over again is your thing, I can't say my niche interests are any more socially acceptable. It's just that it takes a lot of balls because of how very public this hobby is. I like to imagine what the folks wearing those character costumes think about the 30-somethings who come to Disney with no kids of their own. Do they prefer them over the children because kids are annoying? Are they somehow more annoying than the kids? If you guys have any first-hand experience being under the thumb of Walt Disney's employment, I would love to know your stories in the comments. Specifically in a situation like this one, I definitely say the adults are making me violently gnash my teeth more than the kids would. It's one thing obnoxiously taking up the entire walkway for a dance, but it's another to then post the video of a guy trying to get by you as if he's the asshole who's been caught on camera. Like, yes, your TikTok video absolutely takes priority over the man and his infant child getting to where they're trying to go. Hello everyone. Me and my partner are having a High School Musical themed wedding in August 2022, and I would love to send an invite to any of the celebrities that are in it. Does anyone have the address for Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, Ashley Tisdale, or anyone else? Thanks. I really hope they're talking about an email address and not hand-delivering a letter to their houses. If they are talking physical locations, then this thing is what we would call not good. It's also a convenient opportunity to talk about the broader topic of Disneyland marriages. If I'm being honest, I don't think it's that weird if you want to propose to your partner at Disneyland or Disney World. It is not how I would do it, but it's still, like, not a boring place to be. Scenarios like that could easily just be you're having a date that happens to be at Disney World among hundreds of other amusement parks it could be, and to try and top off what was already a memorable day, you propose. There's this compilation article showcasing supposed Disney adult cringe, and a lot of the pictures in it are just literally proposals. And quite frankly, they're not really bad at all. If this is your threshold for what cringe is, you're just fucking weak. There is some real cringe in this compilation, but a lot of it is just dog shit. One of them is literally of a guy just taking a picture of himself at Disney World. He's not doing anything weird. He's just standing there taking a picture at it. The bar for what's cringe is so low, it's resurfaced on the other side of the planet. For me personally, Disney-themed weddings are a step above the proposal. Not really for me. Don't know if I'd go to one. But there's one Disney couple post I've seen in this bunch that makes my stomach churn a little bit. I wanted the D. I gave her the D. And then they timestamped their fucking kids with the year they had the brilliant idea to walk around a kid's amusement park wearing those custom-made shirts. I just don't get the thought process here. It's not even like a funny pregnancy announcement from what I can tell. The only message I can pull from this is that they be fucking, which, yeah, you're, from what I could tell, a couple. I could have guessed that was probably happening. Marriage section is now over, but there's one genre of Disney adult behavior that I've consistently classified as cringe whenever I see it, and that is getting tattoos. I am sure there's a tasteful way to do it out there, but if it exists, it has yet to show itself. Before we get into this segment, content warning for poor life decisions, and also, I've said this in videos before, I don't think tattoos need to have meaning or even look good. Only the person who has it should care about how it looks to them, so whatever I have to say about these tattoos shouldn't matter to the people who got them. And now that my ass is morally covered, we can get into it. This is my family. I found it all on my own. It's little and broken, but still good. The way this is written out takes some fucking detective work to decipher. It's supposed to be read entirely left to right, top to bottom, but the big fucking Mickey-shaped cigarette burn makes them seem like they're two different paragraphs. Even when reading it how I think it's supposed to be read, I still have no fucking clue what it's supposed to mean. Like, I don't know what she's referring to as her family. Does she mean Disney itself? It feels like we're missing a whole other foot tattoo with the rest of the context. I just don't know that if having that context, so it's a more complete thought, is worth getting Disney tattoos on both of your feet though. This is, and I cannot emphasize this enough, the worst thing I have ever seen. And yeah, I've seen somebody get a stiletto heel shoved into their dick hole, and this is still up there with that somehow. This is such a weird combo of things to ever consider combining. Much less to get as a matching tattoo set. Like a thin blue line Disney logo? What was the brainstorming session for that design? Just shit on a plate and smear around and whatever whatever shape it makes, that's what we'll get. The one saving grace for these two people is that there's two of them. There will always be at least one other person in the world that they can lean on because they both thought it was a good idea to go through with this shit. Alternatively, if their companionship completely falls through the floor, they will regret this shit even more because of it. I don't understand why one of them decided to get this on their elbow as well. Like, at least the one guy had the good sense to put it on the back of his leg, where it's marginally harder to see. Mickey and Minnie just be brain fucking each other in the airspace between that guy's calves. Those two faces are either meant to be so hopelessly horny for each other that they've got their tongues out like dogs from just looking at each other, or they are dropping heavy tabs of acid. Either of these are real possibilities, considering the empty space in their brain and profuse amount of sweat. Anyways, that's where I'm gonna call it quits. I feel like you guys have really gotten it out of me this time. That card I was talking about should be on screen now. Click it to get taken to another video like this. If you enjoyed, drop a like and subscribe with notifications on. Don't go after anyone I talked about in this video because that's lame as hell. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I'll see you in the Disney work camps.